Hey there. I'm taking the day off and I thought, you know what? I've got another story for everyone and I hope that you like it. It came up yesterday after a coaching session where the person I was coaching asked, "Can you share something funny with me before we go?" Because the session was kind of a deep one, and I think that the client just wanted to, have a little levity before moving on, which we always make sure that there's something to work on. But I decided that I would tell him a story that was relevant to what he was going through. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to tell you a story. When I was a kid, I grew up in South Florida, and I had to navigate through different cultures and endure criticism for not being this enough or that enough. But I always felt like I was in this world to enjoy the human race, like everybody's wonderful cultural contributions, and just really enjoy it. So the story goes like this. Oh, look at the grays. Hmm. Getting accustomed to this. I don't know. What do you think? Should I? Hmm. I think I'm going to color. Yes, I'm vain and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to pick a color one day and you'll just see what it is when I color it, after I've colored it. Okay, so back to the story. So my stepfather used to work at this condominium over in Miami Beach, and there were several buildings, and he owned the concession for parking. So as part of the concession, he was really kind of a concierge service before the term was known here in the United States as, he would make sure that people's cars were parked, so it was a valet service, and some of his men would, take the groceries up to people's apartments. There were quite a few old ladies or some families that had little children and they couldn't handle everything themselves. And he also um, he also got to speak to a lot of the snowbirds from Canada. So the ones that spoke in French really appreciated that he could speak in their language. And so that really made him a very popular person. And they loved him. So when they were moving back home, because there were a lot of snowbirds that would go there, and a snowbird is somebody that travels to another country for the winter. And so we had a lot of Canadians and Europeans and even, I would say, yeah, the people from different countries where it was colder. But sometimes it wasn't because it was colder, it was just the season, which was very common for them to gather together as a family um, in Florida. So there were quite a few Venezuelans as well. From what I recall, they were the most common group of South Americans that flew up, but everybody just flew up to South Florida or flew over for the winter season, right? So when the winter season was over, people would have a lot of food, more food than they needed. So they would, call my stepfather and he'd get the food from them, and then I guess he would divvy it up among the people that worked for him. And we would end up getting tons of bagels. And this is South Florida at the beach, which is kind of like the Jewish Riviera, where everybody just kind of gathered together to have a wonderful vacation. Of course, there are other cultures too, but my point is specifically for food that is known to be, was made famous in America by the Jewish culture. So we had tons of bagels, and we'd get jars of borscht. We had bottles of Manischewitz and Mogen David, which are very, very sweet wines that are kind of like syrupy sweet. And what else did we have? Oh, matzah meal, matzah crackers. Um, gosh, and gefilte fish, the point of the story. So one day I decided, I'm looking at this jar of gefilte fish, and I'm like, what is this stuff? And I've spoken to some of my Jewish friends, and at least the younger ones are like, bleh, we don't like gefilte fish. It's served cold, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I didn't know that when I was like 10. I'm looking at this gefilte fish, and I've been cooking since I was about 8 years old, so I knew my way around the kitchen, and I'm like, let me taste it. Doesn't have much flavor. Maybe, because it looked like it was breaded, maybe I need to fry it. So I fried the gefilte fish. I'm like, something's still missing. So I put a little seasoning on there, put a little Lari seasoning. And it tasted a little bit better, but it still needed something. And as an island girl, we like things, well, most of us like things rather spicy. So I put hot sauce on it. That's right. At my young age of 10, I invented Caribbean-style Gefilte fish. Now, this made the guy laugh so much, but my story continued because I said to him, my life's mission, my life's ambition, my life's direction was always about merging cultural experiences, merging ideas on how to make food, having a fusion of cultures, and just developing wisdom because you've learned it from some other group, not just from learning it from your own group. So what I would like for you to do, is find your way of merging two ideas, two cultures, two concepts, or more than two. Mix them all up and create your own Caribbean-style gefilte fish. Have a great day. Bye-bye.